It's spooky season, and today we're looking at the 2025 release from Tatuaje and their Monster series. This is the Tatuaje Monster Mummy Redux 5. And man, this box is smooth. Feels like silk. We got 13 cigars. These were rolled or assembled in September of 2025, so these babies are fresh. We got our usual Tatuaje seal on there, which I love. But you're not here for the box. Let's take a look at these sticks. Oh yeah. So I got them bundled in tissue paper. So we're gonna cut that off real quick. Let's unwrap this mummy. There we go. So these are basically a Churchill size, one of the bigger Vitolas they put out recently in the Mummy series. And you'll notice there's a little bit of a treat here in the center. We have a mummy wrapped stick. I'm going to leave this one wrapped and we'll take a look at another stick. It's just kind of a fun little inside thing that Tatuaje does. For those of you that missed the Cigars Unbanded episode, where Pete Johnson came and gave us some insider tips, be sure to go and rewatch that. That was a sweet show. Shout out to Peter for getting that set up. Unless it was Felipe. It was probably Felipe. We know the real muscle of the channel. So there is the Tatuaje Monster Mummy. And I tried one of these. It's okay so far. It's, like I said, it's very, very fresh. You know, I tried it less than a month after these were rolled, which is wild that they can roll these in Nicaragua, ship them to the States, and get them on the shelves within a month. That is impressive. But I tried one of these, and the flavors were pretty muted. You know, it it tasted like I was smoking mummy wrappings, almost like a little bit of a kind of a paper bag syndrome. But to be fair, the one I smoked was fresh off the truck. So I have a couple of these sitting in the dry box. We're gonna let them age for at least a couple more months before I give them a real critique. And I think it's gonna be much better. I'm also hoping that these age well because, as you know, I'm a fan of the Monster series, going all the way back to the face, which wasn't long ago, that was 2 years. But that's one of my favorite sticks, was the face. And so I have been picking up a box or two of these every year in hopes that they can kind of replicate that. The Wolfman that came out last year was okay, a little too spicy for me, but I got high hopes for this one. So let's give it a couple months and maybe I'll report back. Probably not. You guys will just have to go watch some reviews from real cigar content creators. This channel is just for unboxings and fucking around. Bye. All right, that's it for cigar content. You can go watch Budget Smokes now. Those of you that are sticking around, I'm gonna try a little experiment with the channel. Some of you might know that YouTube is pretty unfriendly to cigar content creators. So the only way we can really support our habits, our cigar addictions, is by opening a Patreon. And I like to avoid that. I do have a Patreon. I only have one member on there though, and it's my Uncle Dave. Thank you, Uncle Dave. And I'm not asking you to join my Patreon. In fact, I think I'm gonna shut that down. However, some of you may also know that I have another hobby, which is collecting cool items from history. And what I'm going to do is start sourcing some of this stuff so I can share it with you guys. And if you want to pick something up, then that's the way you can support the channel. Like, this is a $20 billion note from when Zimbabwe was facing hyperinflation. Let's see, this is a 1934 film reel from an old Disney movie. See if I can get you a good shot of that. There you go, there's the original Mickey Mouse and Donald. And stuff like this is becoming more and more rare. People don't hold stuff like this in their hands because they're so focused on TikTok. This is a Department of Defense engineering document card. This is how they used to program their computers. And in every single one of these, there's a piece of declassified, like, engineering drawings, which is freaking awesome. I got some PCB chips from the original 1980 Pac-Man Midway games. I've got some Charlie Chaplin film reels. There's one of the title cards for it. And then just some random stuff. Like this is europium glow powder. So you can charge that up in the sun and then it'll glow like that for hours. And aerogel. For those of you that don't know, this is the lightest solid on Earth. It's 99.8% empty space, which makes it incredibly light and a good insulator. This is what they use to capture space particles in space to bring them home and study them. So I'm gonna throw stuff like this in an Etsy store. If you guys want to help support the channel, go check it out. Use the code Cigars for 10% off everything. And I love you guys. Thanks for being along for the journey, and we'll see you guys for the next video. Bye.